What's going on, collectors? This is Uncanny Derek, and in this video, I woke up this morning choosing violence. Stay tuned. And of course, if you like what you see, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below. So I woke up this morning deciding on violence. What do I mean by that? The main idea of this video is that I want to show off 5 comic books from my X-Men collection just to share and talk about them because I love talking about comic books. But let's just get right to the violent point. Wolverine's first appearance is Hulk 180. There, I said it. It's not 181, it's 180. 181 does have the cooler cover, absolutely, but 180 is his first appearance. And the reason why I say that is it's not that the cameo appearance is a real appearance, and I feel that same way about Fantastic Four with the cameo appearance of Black Bolt, and I also feel the same way with X-Men number 13 here. If you've seen the cover of X-Men 12, that is, and I don't own that book, one day I will, but it is the cooler cover, absolutely, of the two. But if you've read the issue, Juggernaut appears at the end. It's his cameo appearance. And so this is his first real appearance. And if we're going by the Wolverine rules, where the first appearance is in the actual book they appear in, well then, guess what? This is the first appearance of Juggernaut. And I don't care what anybody else says, this is it, because he appears here, he has lines in this, this is the issue itself. And so I want to talk about this book because it is awesome Jack Lee and it is awesome Stan Lee and I'm not even going to edit that. Awesome Stan Lee and Jack Kirby storytelling. I just love Angel jumping towards the Juggernaut there. Obviously he's doomed. And yeah, Human Torch appearance in here. I'm pretty sure Matt Murdock, Daredevil, appears in this as well. And this is the real story of Juggernaut. I mean, you do get his backstory a little bit, Kane Marco backstory in issue 12, but this is the whole hog fighting the Juggernaut. And so that brings me to another book that I have here I wanted to show off, which is issue number 58 here. And this is the first appearance of Havoc. And this book here is the first appearance of Havoc, of course, but issue 54, a few issues earlier than this, is the first appearance of Alex Summers. And this is the more expensive book because comic book collectors have decided that this is the first appearance of, well, it is the first appearance of Havoc, but Alex Summers appeared before this. And that's also true with Polaris. Issue 49 is her first appearance, but issue 50 is the more expensive book. And it's an interesting thing that I find with comic book collecting, that us as collectors, we tend to value, obviously the covers are a big deal. This is a much cooler cover than the first appearance of Alex Summers. And I don't know, I like both covers of Polaris 49 and 50. But much like Juggernaut, we already had this guy established for 4 issues or 3 issues beforehand. So this is the 4th issue of Alex Summers, but first Havoc, therefore it's the bigger book, which is bizarre to me. And I always find that, and maybe you guys want to comment about this in the comments below, but I just always have had a hard time wrapping my head around the semantics of what is a first appearance and what makes a cameo appearance and how the value is determined. Again, I feel that, you know, this is the cooler book. Issue 12 of X-Men's the cooler cover. Issue 50 of X-Men's the cooler cover in somebody's opinion. I think 49 is better. But and obviously Hulk 181 is the cooler cover as well in comparison. But, you know, this is first appearance of Havoc, and it's still Alex Summers. He was still there 3 issues earlier. It's so bizarre to me. But anyway, I want to show off both of these books just to talk about exactly what I'm talking about now, to have that debate about the cameo appearances here. The next book I wanted to show off is issue 14. This is the first appearance of the Sentinels. And this is, the cover is by Jack Kirby. Stan Lee did the story. And the interior artwork, this is one of the other books as well. I think it's, not this book, it would have been the issue before. This is, no, I think it is this issue. This is the first Jay Gavin pencils. And Jay Gavin ended up being, that was his pen name. He ended up becoming Werner Roth. And Werner Roth ended up being like the X-Men artist throughout most of the Silver Age run. He pretty much worked on every single book, doing either backup stories or the main stories. And so for these issues all the way up to, for the next couple, I think it was 16 or 17, Jack Kirby did layouts, and Jay Gavin, Werner Roth, ended up doing the actual drawing and pencils for the story itself. So I love the story in this book because, yes, it is for Sentinels, but also it is the first Werner Roth book, if I'm not mistaken, to really get him started with the whole run of X-Men. And I have always felt that Werner Roth is an underappreciated artist for the Silver Age, and unfortunately he did pass away before Giant Size X-Men came out. I think that the world of X-Men would be an entirely different place if Werner Roth was still alive. I feel he probably would have came back on, and we wouldn't have had Dave Cockrum, and we may not have had John Byrne. We may have had Werner Roth back on the books. And, you know, his artwork was arguably a little cartoony in comparison to Cockrum and in comparison to Byrne, but he was a staple, much like how Roy Thomas was a staple for these early Silver Age books, and I just find that that's an incredible legacy for him to leave, and I will always praise Werner Roth. He's definitely an underappreciated artist. Next two books, this one I've always wanted to get a upgraded copy because I am such a big fan of Sean Cassidy. First appearance of Banshee, this is issue 28. This is Roy Thomas and Werner Roth, and this is from 1966. I have this book here. You notice there's little tears there in the corners, but the book was dirt cheap because of that, and so this would probably grade as like a 1, perhaps. But Wail of the Banshee, and I've always felt that Banshee has been an underutilized character, and as I've mentioned in tons of videos prior to this, Joe Casey, the Poptopia run is really where I got my foothold in comic books, and Banshee became a major player after that with X-Corps, and I have always had a large affliction to Banshee, and I've always felt that he's such a cool character, and he's a very mature character, especially in these early issues, and then when we get later on, when we get into Claremont and Cockrum's story, you know, Banshee is kind of the adult of the group of all things, and yeah, I've just always have appreciated the Banshee, and this first appearance, this cover, just a great artwork. Also, if you notice, Mimic was part of the team still at this point. The whole thing is just fantastic, and one day I'll get an upgraded copy of this book, but like I said, I'm not really going to upgrade many books until I have the whole run done. I got to put my money towards other important things first. And lastly, the last book I want to show off here is, I've always appreciated this character because of his Golden Age appearances and what he meant for Marvel back then, and of course that's going to be Kazar, issue 10. This is from 1965. This is Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and this is the first appearance of Silver Age Kazar. And Kazar, as you all know, Savage Land, he ended up being a major player in pretty much every Silver Age storyline. He was in Daredevil, Fantastic Four. He just constantly was in and out of all these different books, and you know, he had his own solo series after that. Then we get Shauna the She-Devil, who's involved with him as well. So this is kind of the staple Kazar book, where everything branches off from this, and the whole idea of the Savage Land and pretty much the rest of this whole dinosaur world that exists in the Marvel Universe is from this book. And I think this book grades around a 3, maybe a 2.53. It's pretty brittle pages, especially the cover, but it does present beautifully. It's a little tan, but I think it still presents great. And so, yeah, the only thing that has always bothered me on this, and I'll probably do a blow-up of this, is Kazar's eye. I don't know what Kirby was doing with this cover. It's clearly a very classic Jack Kirby cover, but Kazar's face here, that's one of the only slip-ups I've ever seen with Kirby's artwork. But just awesome book, awesome history, and obviously very early X-Men here with early establishment of the Marvel Universe. Of course, 1965, they're only a few years in at this point, and just fantastic book to have in the collection. So those are all the books I wanted to show off. If you guys aren't mad with me already about saying Hulk 180s being the first appearance of Wolverine, thanks for sticking around. If you think I'm wrong, by all means, leave comments. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Check out some of the other videos, and check out one of these buttons here. It's going to be a subscribe button as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.